Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tom Worth Jr. and I need you to bear with me for a few minutes on this one because it's kind of a tough pill to swallow if it plays out. Jared Kushner's involvement in the purchase of the parent company of CNN. And that's what we're going to talk about for a few minutes here. This gets a little complicated, but I'm just going to simplify it. There is one of the richest men in the world, Larry Ellison, the founder of Oracle, big Trump buddy, kind of the same vintage as Trump, huge Trumper. He has a younger son, much younger than him, and this son has, why do these just rich people, the richest people in the world, why do they just love Trump so much? I don't get it, but they do. Anyway, he has a son named David Ellison, and he bought Paramount this summer. It closed in August. Paramount is who owns CBS. And CBS, as you'll recall, announced the termination of Stephen Colbert. And that was because on condition of approving this merger of Skydance, which is David Ellison's company, with Paramount, and now it's called Skydance, Paramount Skydance, I believe. This was just a backroom deal that was struck. Hey, this will be approved. You got to get rid of Stephen Colbert. That was the allegations at the time. I don't know that that's anything you'll actually be able to prove out, but the merger was stalled at the time, and then CBS announced the canning of Colbert, and the owners of CBS desperately wanted out. And they were all too happy to do that if it let them unload their company, Paramount, which owns CBS. So that all happened this summer. That's how this guy, Larry Ellison's kid, got a hold of Paramount and CBS. Now, one of the few billionaires that doesn't want Trump and is a Silicon Valley type is a guy named Reed Hastings. He is the founder and main guy at Netflix, always has been. Rabid anti-Trumper, which is unusual for that ilk. Trump doesn't like this guy. He doesn't like Netflix. Netflix is way too powerful by most people's opinion and that follow the media industry. And for them to buy another huge streamer, which is HBO Max, wouldn't be a good idea. But that's exactly what Netflix is trying to do. Warner Brothers Discovery, they had a bid from Netflix that was approved by, this is getting a little complicated, Warner Brothers Discovery's board last week. There are several bids, including a bid from Larry Ellison's son's company, Paramount Skydance. And this is a much bigger merger than what Ellison pulled off in the summer. That was an $8.5 billion deal. This would be a $100 billion deal. And that includes a lot of money. This is an all-cash offer that Ellison's trying to do. Now, I just told you that last week, the Warner Brothers Discovery board approved their own sale to Netflix. However, and they did. And Trump immediately said, I don't know. I don't like this deal. This is going to be tough. So he immediately said that when that news broke last week. And so that encouraged Ellison to go hostile in their bid, which was rejected by the Warner Brothers Discovery board. Now that bid, Ellison's bid, the Paramount Skydance bid, includes major backing from Jared Kushner's company, Affinity, and the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund. Also the Qataris, their wealth fund is involved. So you would have Jared Kushner and Saudi and Qatari money, but remember the Qataris, the the gifters of the $300-something million jet to Donald Trump, which he's going to take with him when he leaves office and put it in his museum, which doesn't exist. Okay. So yeah, all of these people, this is Jared Kushner, this is the Saudis, this is Donald Trump. So that's who's financially backing. Oh, and also Larry Ellison himself, if any additional financial backstopping is needed, if there's any concerns about the Saudis or the other Middle Eastern money not coming through, then hey, Dad's got my back. That's that bid. Well, Warner Brothers Discovery owns CNN. They own all this stuff that Ted Turner started, TNT and TBS and CNN, way back when Ted Turner invented cable news with CNN, the cable news network. Now, Donald Trump doesn't love this deal either because he's kind of pissed off at Paramount for airing an interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene this week. And on CBS. So I thought that was kind of cool that they did that. Remember, Marjorie Taylor Greene had started getting a lot of publicity by going on CNN itself weeks ago and then talking and announcing her retirement, going full anti-Trump. This is all so complicated, and this is the kind of stuff I love. What I don't love is the idea of a Jared Kushner and Saudi-financed entity owning the parent company of CNN. So they would own CNN. In much the same way as Elon Musk owns Twitter. It just, like, you may have thought Twitter was bad. You may have thought it was kind of a cesspool, kind of toxic, blah, blah, blah. Okay, hold my beer. Wait till Elon Musk gets a hold of it. That's what would likely happen with CNN. Warner Brothers Discovery, they also own HBO. They also own HBO Max, which is the streaming service of HBO. That's the kind of, I don't know if it's number 2 behind Netflix, but it's up there in terms of streaming power. So I don't like Netflix owning this entity, but I dang sure don't want Jared Kushner and Larry Ellison and the Saudis owning it. My first impulse was to say, okay, maybe it dilutes the viewership of Fox News. If suddenly CNN is all MAGA all the time, then maybe some of these people can start watching CNN and not Fox. And Fox's viewership numbers would go down. I do think that could happen. But what I worry about is all of the people at CNN, all those journalists, okay, I'm not watching CNN these days, by the way. I find them kind of pointless, but they're not all in for Trump. They're not an official propaganda outlet like Fox News is. So I want CNN to continue to exist, even though I'm not watching them myself. So all of those people that speak out against Trump and that do investigative journalism to the extent that they do against Trump, they're not going to have a voice there at the Kushner-owned CNN. They might not fire him right off the bat, but I bet they would. And if they try to sit on the fence and try to kind of squeeze in some anti-Trump stuff, but also be the party, it's just not going to work. I just think this is a bad idea all around. As bad as it is for Netflix to own them, I think it's far, far, far worse for a Jared Kushner Saudi-backed organization to own them. I think it's pretty likely that this is going to happen. Trump is saying that that's not a great deal either, but that's just posturing. And 2 things I could tell you are going to happen. 1, Trump's going to get a chunk of it. And 2, he's going to say he's going to block the Netflix bid unless the shareholders of Warner Brothers Discovery approve this deal. The reason it's a hostile bid is because the bid from Ellison's company and the bid from Netflix last week, they didn't actually go, the shareholders, all of the shareholders of Warner Brothers Discovery did not actually vote on which deal to accept. Just the board of the company accepted the Netflix deal. And so the hostile part is when Ellison this week, probably with prompting from Kushner and Trump and Stephen Miller, went directly to the shareholders of the company, which you may say they should be able to do, and I agree with you, they should. I think these corporate boards have way too much power. There's a lot I don't like about the Netflix deal, like you can tell. But that's why it's considered a hostile takeover bid, and it's probably going to carry the day, I would think. It'll take a little bit to play out, but yes, we could have a Donald Trump family controlled CNN in addition to whatever the heck Fox News already is. So, yeah. Okay, that's it. Like this, if you would, give it a subscribe if you haven't yet. I really appreciate it. And you all have a good evening. We'll talk later.